I'm Laura Ratz from Wagner Farms. I am the 5th generation at our dairy farm. I get to farm alongside my dad Hank, mom Pam, my brother Sean, and my husband Tyler. And we have currently about 950 milking cows and raise all of our animals on site as of last year, March. So we just got to bring all of our heifers home. And our farm motto is people, animals, and environment, the 3 things that make up Wagner Farm's success. For our calf housing and procedures that we do at the farm, from day 1 they start out with 1 gallon of pasteurized colostrum. All of our colostrum is tested for total solids, so anything 22 or above for total solids is what will be fed to our heifer calves. And so at day 1 they're going to be partnered up with a buddy, and we usually prepare everybody based on size, so everybody gets a birth weight right at tagging time. And then they're going to get paired up with somebody that is the same birth weight as them. So that's on day 1. At day 10 is when they're going to hit their max in feeding. So at day 10, they're going to be already up to 1 gallon of milk, and that's 3 times a day of pasteurized whole milk. And then at day 60 is when they're going to start their weaning program. So at day 60, they're going to start to wean down in milk, and then at 80 days, they're completely weaned off of milk. And so we use a little bit of a different feeding system. We have an ID reader, and so it makes it really easy for all 3 feedings to be able to be accurate and efficient in feedings. So the ID reader will actually scan off of the tractor as the tractor drives up to the hutch itself. Then it'll show how much milk that calf, individual or group of calves, get. And then it will increase milk by 1/10 every day. So it's a very slow increase of milk. And then the same for the weaning process. It will decline 1/10 a day until 80 days. So it's a slow ramp up and a slow ramp down. It makes us have really happy, healthy calves. So I would say there's 4 benefits to paired housing that we really like to zone in on. And so I think first and foremost, the one huge benefit that is becoming even more popular is, I would say, animal welfare. And so animal welfare is obviously a big deal in the dairy industry, and perception is reality. And so I think as for the consumers, it's much easier for them to see paired housing as a good thing. By seeing that they get paired with a buddy and they have a buddy for life, makes it so much easier to perceive or to see that as a really good thing. The next benefit of paired housing, obviously they get that buddy right at birth, but then they're pretty much buddies or friends for life. So we pair them at birth, they get moved up to our calf barn together at about 12 to 13 weeks of age, and they're still going to stay with their buddy. So they eat with their buddy, they sleep with their buddy, they do everything their buddy does. And then now that we have all of our animals on site, once they get into our milking herd, we're still seeing buddies. They're locking up together, they're laying down in free stalls together. So just the whole social behavior, there's so much more to it than we really realize. I would just say overall health of animals. We don't use a lot of antibiotics. Calves are just overall healthier animals. The intakes start sooner on starter. They can drink more milk, and therefore we just use a lot less antibiotics for the animals. Then lastly, I would say performance. By learning from each other, they're going to be able to consume more milk. And so we're getting about a 2.6 average daily gain on our calves. They're at about 280 pounds on average at 80 days. Just with that average daily gain, we've seen in our milking herd that there's an increase in milk production just on average daily gain. By average daily gain, anybody that's been over a 2.0 average daily gain is producing 3,000 to 5,000 pounds more milk in our milking herd in first lactation. Probably the first drawback and the only drawback would be the cross-sucking. This has been a huge learning curve for us, and so at the beginning we had more cross-sucking, but you need to be able to how to learn and prevent it. And it is possible. We feed off of nipple buckets. We use the milk bar feeding buckets. So if you're going to do paired housing, you can't feed from a bucket. It has to be out of a nipple. So they have to have that at least 20 minutes of suckling a day in order to prevent the cross-sucking. And if you're going to put in the nipples, you need to be able to manage the nipples and make sure that the size of the nipple hole is also very consistent on a regular basis. So my take back to the barn message for paired housing, I would say is it's a great system, and if you can find ways to manage it, it's a huge benefit for your dairy. And we've had a lot of people that come to the farm and tour our facilities, and so what we do doesn't work for everybody else, but being able to find a system that works for you is my #1 recommendation. But also, if you're going to go to paired housing, you can't just stick 2 calves together into a house and expect that it's all going to work out. There's so much more to manage and to do things properly to make sure that you're going to get the best end result.